Hi guys, it is shadow work time. We're a day late on this, but that's okay, because we all know that divine timing is at work. I found the Disney cards, which is what I like to use for shadow work. It's the Villains Tarot deck. And I love Disney, so, and I like that it's villains, right? Because we all see shadow work as villainous, but it's really not. It's just stuff we have to clear up. Like I said this morning, it's all in your perception as to whether things are good or bad. We've got the Chariot, fast-moving energy, very fast. You're doing a lot of shadow work and you're doing it quick. Starting to see things as light and dark, as good and bad, as... I just noticed she's driving in America. If you're in America, she's driving from the wrong side. So she's definitely got the new perspective, and she's really pushing forward, pushing through, with eyes wide open and seeing things the way they need to be seen to heal. Let me talk about that for a minute. So when we look at things from an emotional perspective, from a ego perspective, from a perspective of why is this happening to me, we're putting a level of value or judgment on ourselves, right? So when we say, why is this happening to me, what we're really saying is, what did I do to deserve this, right? When we look at it that way, we're still devaluing ourselves. When we look at it as, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to learn by this? What can I learn in order to avoid this lesson again? And we look at it from the level of like a scientist, almost from an observer perspective. We see things clearly and for what they truly are, and not for an emotional, selfish perspective of why me, right? Looking at it from that objective observer perspective is literally what we need to do to heal things. Are we going to feel things as a result of it? Yes, probably. Things are hard. Things are painful to revisit. But do your best to find the lesson. Find the lesson and look at it with open eyes, objectively. Set your ego aside. What lesson is it that you are being taught, that you may have been facing over and over and over again in your life? Once you recognize those and put voice to them and realize what they truly are, you blow past them, right? You just blow past them, just like the Chariot, very quickly, very quickly. And once you get in the momentum of doing this kind of work, you can do it quicker. You can figure things out quicker. It's like a habit, right? They say it takes 3 weeks to create a habit, where, if you quit smoking, like I'm trying to quit smoking, 3 weeks is what it takes, right? From the body perspective. In a spiritual perspective, 3 weeks could mean 3 minutes. It could mean 3 days. It could mean whatever you want it to mean, because you're the one creating the script, right? So it can be super fast. And really, it's all up to you. It's completely all up to you. From there, we've got the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor is normally the father figure, right? This is everything that Dad taught us. I think what this card is telling us in shadow work is, remember that Dad was human, right? Maybe don't put so much weight on those things that you were taught by your parents, because our parents were broken. They had their own lessons to learn, and they had their own shit to deal with, and they did the best they could with the information that they had at the time. And we love them for that. And I'm not faulting any parent out there. I'm not calling anybody broken to be offensive. Just that we are not all in our godlike mentality all the time, right? We can only know what we ourselves were taught by our parents. And I think what this card is telling us to do is to drop the illusion of just because your parents said it was doesn't mean it is. Shatter the illusion of everything. Question everything. Question, something came up for me yesterday. Oh, my fireplace. So I've lived in my house for 3 years and found out Friday that my fireplace works. When I moved in here, the realtor told me the fireplace did not work. I never tried it. I just accepted it as truth and assumed that he was telling me the truth. How did he know? I don't know. He got information from the previous owner or something like that. But either way, nobody ever tested the theory that the fireplace worked or didn't work. As it turns out, it does work. Could I turn it on again? Probably not, because he had to do 15 different things to make it work. But and it's a gas fireplace, and I'm not really trying to blow myself up. The point being, I just accepted what the realtor said is truth, and I didn't delve further into whether or not it was true. I didn't check for myself. I think this card is telling us we got to start checking for ourselves. Quit assuming that people always tell you the truth. They don't necessarily always tell you the truth because they don't know that they're not telling you the truth. And I think that's what this card is telling us. With shadow work, make sure we're questioning. Ask the question and find the proof for yourself until you know yourself that something is true. Until then, it's up in the air, right? To the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is a long battle. It is being tired and being worn out and feeling beat up. It is literally like a painful ending, the rock bottom, right? The Ten of Swords in the upright signifies the end of that. We've done a lot of shadow work in the last few months, if you're in my collective, and I think the painful part of the shadow work may be coming to an end. We'll see it more clearly, more objectively as an observer. Put your quantum physics hat on. Everything that is observed is changed by the observer. That's been ringing in my ear all week, and I haven't really talked about it much, but when you're being watched, you act differently, right? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind and know that these things are coming to an end. The painful part of it is coming to an end. It doesn't need to be as emotional as we're making it. It's things that happen to us, for us, are just things. They're just lessons. Find the lesson and move on from it. It's not about whether or not you deserved it, whether or not you worked hard for it or didn't work hard for it. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. It's nothing to internalize or create an inner dialogue of negativity around. How many things from your childhood have you done that with? How many things have you completely internalized and made a value judgment about yourself as a result of it? What can you detach from your value to let your true value shine through? We are all deserving of everything. Abundance in love, in life, in money, in wealth, and we all deserve it from the second we're born, just because we exist. There's no checklist we need to check off. You have to do this to deserve it. You have to do that to deserve it. It doesn't exist. That checklist does not exist, you guys. You just deserve it because you are. And when we can get back to knowing that, truly, our inner dialogue, knowing that, everything's going to change. And I think that's what's happening here. To the Two of Swords in the reverse. Two of Swords is typically a decision that you don't want to make. So what decision did you make? There's a compromise to be had here. You don't have to go one way or another. You can compromise. And I think that's what this card is saying specifically, is to compromise. How can you take the best of each decision you're making, of each decision you have to make, and I'm sorry guys, I'm not feeling good today. how can you take the best of both worlds and make them both yours? Because you can. You're the magician. You can do whatever you want. So we had 2 major arcana and 2 swords. So you're definitely being asked to use your intellect and your mind in this shadow work. No emotion, right? And this shadow work is going to move you levels quickly. I would like to read from the book just because we always do. I've interpreted the cards the way I'm intuitively seeing them, but I kind of want to read what Disney has to say. The chart represents determination, unrelenting focus, and willpower, much like the formidable, fashion-loving Cruella de Vil, who doesn't let anything stop her from getting what she wants, not even a car chase in the snow. I didn't notice the snow before. It's not as obvious to me, I guess. But anyway, upright. Obstacles won't faze you now. You're in hot pursuit of your goals and nothing will stand in your way. Don't let yourself get distracted. What you want may seem out of reach now, but putting your pedal to the metal will give you the last little boost you need to succeed, which is basically what I said, right? I went into a little more detail with it, but it's all going to move fast. Just be determined, keep your eye on the prize. And the Emperor. Where are you, Emperor? You should be back here. There you are. So this is about Shere Khan, right? Like the Emperor is a powerful, composed ruler who commands authority and respect. And we talked about him representing the father figure, right? When he comes in the reverse, the Emperor warns against becoming too rigid in your views and advises you to keep an open mind. Shere Khan's experience with man caused him to fear and despise all humans, and this extreme rigidity hardens his heart. He loses his friends and becomes feared by the entire jungle. The Emperor reversed is a sign that thinking in terms of absolute won't serve you well. Stay flexible and remember that there are exceptions to every rule, which is literally what we said, right? There are no rules that are so set in stone that you don't question them. Question everything. I love it. It's, yeah, enough said. So to the Ten of Swords. Where's our swords? Cups, no. Coins, no. Wands. Okay, here we go. King, Queen. All right, Ten of Swords in the upright indicates a friendship, relationship, or project you've put a lot of energy and thought into is coming to a painful end, possibly through a betrayal. There is no way around it. You'll be left with heavy emotions. Give yourself time to process this ending and get closure, but trust it's for the best. Bigger, better things are in store for you. So I was thinking of it more in terms of the shadow work coming to an end, but I guess shadow work never does come to an end. And I'm kind of glad I did decide to read the book, because I feel like that needed to be said too. You know, whatever is coming to an end is in everybody's best good, but allow yourself the time to mourn it. If you watched the morning message this morning, I spoke about that a lot. The Three of Swords came up, and honor those things with time to process. Allow yourself time to grieve, and know that divine work is happening, right? Divine timing, divine structure. God will step in when he needs to protect us from ourselves. So this may be an ending that you can't really complete yourself, and he may be coming in to help you with that. But it's okay to be sad about it, and it's okay to mourn about it. In fact, it's respectable to honor those things and to be sad about those things. And that is inevitable, I guess. When we grow and change, the people in our lives grow and change. If they don't grow and change, then they fall away, right? You can think about friends that you had as children. You probably have one or two friends that you still have to this day, right? But they ebb and flow. You know, you go through periods where you are talking to them every day, and then you go through periods where you don't talk for years. Doesn't mean that the love isn't there. It just means that their particular purpose in your life, the lessons that they're teaching you, you've learned, you know, and they may be teachers in future lessons. You never know. You know, everything that falls apart doesn't always stay apart. It can come back together more beautiful later on, because what is yours will never pass you by. Never. And it's taken me a long time to root that in But I don't have a fear of losing anything anymore because I have faith in that God will never let anything pass me by that was meant for me. And I just kind of go with the flow now in a way that I have not been able to my entire life. So keep that in mind, guys. To the Two of Swords in reverse, are you in a tiring disagreement that's just not resolving itself? When reversed, the Two of Swords indicates you're not seeing eye to eye with someone in your life and things are finally coming to a breaking point. If an argument isn't productive, sometimes it's best to let bygones be bygones. I saw that more as of a decision card, but it seems to me in this deck they're speaking more about the relationships, right? If this is coming to an end, don't argue about it. Don't argue about it. Let it go. Just let it go. Agree to disagree. It's okay to have different thoughts. In fact, it's encouraged even, and not live your life the same way as what everybody thinks you should. And it's very seldom are they right, at least in my experience. So question everything. Find your true selves, guys. Let go of those attachments. 90% of what we believe about ourselves is somebody else's planted seed that we have attached and grown and nurtured. Chop those down. Nurture yourself. Grow your own seeds. Find one thing about yourself that is uniquely you, your thought, your truth. Plant that seed. Nurture that seed. Let that tree grow and see what comes as a result of it. In the Bible, it says the faith of a mustard seed, right? That's all it takes. One little tiny seed to move mountains. So what is our advice moving into this next level of shadow work? What are we going to be looking at? What painful lessons that don't have to be painful? What insight can you give us into how to approach the Empress? She came up in the reverse, and I don't feel like she should be upright anyway. So the Empress in the reverse is dependence on others. Don't depend on anybody but yourself. You're the only one that you need. If you're thinking about making a big change in your life and nobody's on board with it, make it anyway. Be your authentic self, and you don't need anybody. To the Seven of Coins. Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of reflecting on the card for a minute. Sevens usually, they kind of frighten me to a degree. I think this is just saying be patient. The success that you're seeking may be delayed. It might be something that you're dreaming. This looks to me like a dream. I pay attention to your dreams, but it's be patient with it. Wait for your return on investment. They don't always come right away, right? We're gonna look this up. The Empress in reverse is indicates personal insecurity and a need for self-love. Take a leaf out of Mother Gothel's book and admire yourself. Stand in front of a mirror, strike a pose. Boost your self-confidence with positive affirmations. You got it going on. All right, I like the affirmations part. I was thinking about that today. Start writing your affirmations. Do the 369 trick. It's not a trick, I guess. I don't know what I call it. It's a routine, I guess. Pick 3 things that you want to manifest or let go of or whatever. 3 ideas, 3 affirmations. Write them down 6 times in a day, right? So, I don't know, every couple hours, rewrite them. And then do that for 9 days, the 369 manifestation, they call it. And see how that changes, right? See how those affirmations help, because they will. They absolutely will. I have gotten away from doing that, and I'm trying to get back to my old routines in that regard, because those are what got me here, right? So we'll honor that. The 7 of Coins in the upright. You have a long path ahead of you and are working hard to set yourself up for success. Seven of Coins advises you to make decisions with the long term in mind. Careful planning will lead to big rewards in the future. So yeah, I mean, definitely take the time to plan whatever it is you want to do. Don't just fly off the handle and do it. Be patient. The time will reveal itself. I've kind of been taking that approach with my life lately, where I've only been planning for the next few days, right? I've been trying to stay very present in the present moment, but there are situations that do require us to look long-term down the road. And maybe it's time that we started looking at a little further down the road when we're planning now. So affirmations and planning. Guys, affirmations and planning. And our outcome, what we don't see coming. Ace of Cups in the reverse, but I don't feel like it's reversed. I'm just going to flip it because I want to. That's what I want. It could go either way, though. Either way, it's the beginning. You can get stuck in that beginning, or you can move forward with it, right? But Cups is love. So we hadn't seen Cups yet. Somebody's going to get something they weren't counting on, right? You can feel let down and disappointed if you allow it. But if you look at it from a new perspective, it could be a new relationship, right? I'm going to read from the book again. Either way, it's something new is coming in, and it's emotional, and it's love, in my opinion. It's usually when we are not looking for those type of things that they appear. So the warning is you're experiencing an emotional imbalance. Don't bottle up your feelings, because that will only lead to temper tantrums to rival those of the Queen of Hearts. Focus on finding healthy ways to express yourself. You won't move forward unless you regain control of yourself. We've been so focused on everything besides love that we have forgotten about it. That's usually when it walks in. Don't allow yourself to be so emotional and so bitter that you ignore what's right in front of you. When it's in the upright, the Ace of Cups represents friendships and love interests. Someone special will be entering the picture soon. Whether this person ends up being your true love or a great new friend, trust that things are unfolding just the way they should. Enjoy the moment and go with the flow. So somebody new is definitely coming in a love situation, and you can make or break it, essentially. Don't bottle things up. And when you do express your feelings and what's coming up for you, be honest about it and find an eloquent way of speaking about it with this new person. Those first few days, weeks, months are the foundation of the future of the relationship. Remember that. It's all in how you express yourself as to whether or not that ends up being your happily ever after, or if it is one more step in the rung of learning how to be in a relationship. It's all up to you. Either way, start planning, guys, and do your affirmations and let love in. And use your throat chakra to express your personal truth, and you'll do fine. So that's Shadow Work Saturday. Well, maybe Sunday, I guess. Either way, that's our shadow work advice for the week. So have fun, guys, and we will talk soon.